We love to see it now. Zapray, Fisher, that dynamic duo of snipers. Ding, he's also getting involved in the action right now because he is on the Ana. So still a sniper, just not as lethal of a sniper.
So it could be very lethal. He creates other lethal members as well with the nano boost.
Yes, of course.
Fisher, though, again, a guy you really have to pay attention to. Fishes for picks all the time.
That's a pick that may have came in, but not to be found on that occasion. Zapray got a couple of good shots off, but not to be. He's hiding behind the shield right now.
Afox switches.
Yeah, you'd expect it to come in right now. They've got the luxury of the spawn room, so Afox will be the one to go over to the Hanzo, leaving Fat to solo heal as the Mercy.
Afox on the Hanzo makes sense here. They really want to get rid of the shield on the high ground and force HSL to basically back off towards this area where they can start to take space and create point priority, right?
But now
HSL have to drop.
They're inviting HSL to come onto the point. They have to get them down there, and they're going to have to be staring each other down. No shield is going to be replaced quickly by Superluke. Now it's the same thing over for Henningsen. Amplified healing coming in. We'll make sure they stay alive despite having that cover to keep them up. The wall, then denying the vision. They still need to get through this shield of Pluke. But it's AT who are walking forward. They're constantly taking ground, taking space to play with. And now it's starting to pay them dividends. Henningsen and Chow will be the first victims. And the floodgates have opened as AT will walk on to point A.
Slow and patient from Angry Titans. Very well done. Askoff, you will not be getting away, son. Probably beneficial, to be honest with him, sent all the way back to point C. This way they can actually properly set up either on this corner or at the choke. But you know they want to deny choke pressure here. It's where they had difficulties on Temple Anubis. It's where HSL controlled that so well. But after such a long fight, Angry Titans coming out on top, it also means they come out on top in terms of ult economy. And Kevster, almost online with that infra site, creates so much oppression, just knowing exactly where HSL will be. And on King's Row, there's not really many flanks you can go on.
And any ones that are there have been shut down by a Sonic arrow from Afox. He put that in early to make sure that no one would come around that angle and try and contest him. They're all going down the same angle right now. And it's perfect for the Dragon Strike. Without seeing them, you still get information. Seeing no one on that is enough to let them know they're all in the streets, and the Dragon Strike will flow through. It sets up Kevster to find Henningsen. Bionate to amplify everything on HSL. Sleep Dart as well, but Kevster comes in swinging at Ding. Will shut him down and claim that he is the most lethal sniper. He is the apex predator on King's Row.
Absolutely shutting down that push there. Great infra sight to stop an early advantage, allowing any of the snipers to get on the high ground and try and pressure Angry Titans as they move up. And only using the infra sight and Kevster picking off Fisher without the res, you could be safe to say that point B would have been done and dusted.
30-second cooldown on that one. That's not too good for them. Walking in right now with the supercharger. Dragon Strike cuts through, and Askoff just riddled with shrapnel right now. Absolutely blown away by Urki's whole hog. The Angry Titans train, it's so strong right now, and the breaks seem to be disabled.
4 minutes 53. Wonderful play from Urki there as well, knowing that pulling out the whole hog early is incredibly essential to stopping Askoff from using the Valkyrie to just get his tippy toes on the top of the payload and then back it on out just to engage that overtime, allowing the rest of his team to get in. Now HSL Esports, all they're running with is the bomb and the supercharger, and Zapray finally gets a little bit of revenge.
All it costs is a nice little resurrection from Fat, and then Afox comes in and punishes him afterwards. Askoff then has to do exactly the same, so both reses have been spent. And Supercharger being taken out. Dragon Strike compensate for itself. Destruct Pluke, still caught off guard by that one. AT are going to truck on forward without their main tank. They don't have the res available. The environmental's there. Goodbye. Urki with the hook. Whole hog going to be eaten up by the DM, but that only lasts for so long before you start tanking it with your body. They're throwing all the stall tactics out now, Blank. HSL want to try and eat away at this time back because they think AT are going to walk away with the completion.
How can you come back to this? 3 minutes 50 on the clock. No ultimates available. You're just desperately trying to stall this one out. But they will complete here. It's undeniable.
Catching the Tracer early there. Kevster with the 3K as well on the back end of that. Camp in the spawn room. Unable to let them out. That was actually really important there for Urki to get that hook onto a Tracer. How much time can a Tracer buy you with the jumping around? Hooks him early before he can do anything. No recall used. Bang. Done.
Simply efficient. Bish, bash, bosh. The Angry Titans are furious after the back of that Temple of Anubis.
Real good nosh.
Real good nosh from this team. Absolutely. Zander basically turning HSL Esports into nosh at this point. It's tough to come back from that one as well. 3 minutes 40. If you've ever experienced it in your ranked games, I'm sure you have. A lot of people just give up, but it's Contenders. There's no room for that here. You have to press on. How much will this affect HSL mentally? That's the question.
So here's the thing about HSL. While we say they're a new team, the components aren't new. There's a lot of veterancy with these players. I think the mental game will be strong from them. This won't set them back too much, assuming they have the game plan to work around with and get out. And I like what you said there, Blank. You can't give up in Contenders. It is kind of frowned upon to do that, especially considering there's a lot on the line here. Not necessarily for the teams, but it's an individual basis. What is the purpose of Contenders? It is a stage on the path to pro to get the talent highlighted. You know what? Giving up in matches when things are down isn't exactly the most admirable of traits, and that's not going to help your case to ascend to the Overwatch League, as so many players from Europe have done before them.
Well, hit those pearly gates, guys.
Yeah.
You got to press on. You got to move up those steps. You got to get there.
Even if you're not on the list, just push them out the way and just go through anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
HSL Esports want to do exactly that
Cross them
to AT. Bruson was detected on the back line, but not enough to make HSL second-guess themselves. He's going to be hiding behind. The hack target is really his choice right now. He has the luxury of time. Chow is going for the check, but he's still lingering back here. Going to pay some attention to Zander there. Gets the hack as well. Cannot finish it off, though, because the pressure is turned onto him.
Which is now why HSL have moved so far onto the point. There is a Sombra on the other side, and she doesn't create a huge amount of pressure without the EMP and the hacks available from the high ground. So now HSL can take firm advantage of the point. Chow going down, though, means that your primary tool of defending against the Sombra is gone. Zander!
Your anti-Urki machine has been disabled, and Urki will punish that. Finding a 2K before Fish takes him down with the Sonic Arrow. AT have got control of the kill feed for now. We always talk about spawn proximity, spawn distance. HSL have that edge. It's playing this one very slow. Henningsen has to put that shield down now because the Storm Arrow damage is so much into that beefy target, Orisa. Holt pulls, Kev's they're out of cover, but there's nothing to follow up on it.
Bruson currently is the time bomb on Angry Titans, and he is 5% away from Tick Tick Boom on this point with the EMP. Valkyrie already out, so that will still get a lot of value. Matrix won't deny the
Going
Dragons.
in blank, EMP shuts off the lights, finding 4, as well as the Bionade. All forms of disability coming in onto HSL. And AT will shut down the offense. 52% accrued, 2 minutes 20 on the clock.
Again, spawn proximity here is very important. Urki will be coming back, and Fisher will be available with that Dragon Strike, but a late stagger onto Askov means that there's more than enough time for him to get back, but not when Kevster goes down like that. That is a huge pick from Fisher. That will stop a lot of the backline disarray from that Tracer from coming through.
I mean, if Fisher managed to take one with him there, I would have been a little bit worried, but Bruson will deal with him, get rid of the tick that's in the back line. Acebox going to play this one safe. Point control is in favor of HSL right now. AT needs to get on there and contest, but they haven't got a main tank to do it. Superfluke's gone down. So you're relying on Nano, Kevster on the Tracer to run in. Henningsen's ignoring him, and there's too much damage being planted in. Askoff as well will feel the brunt of the pistols. The retake from AT is big.
The two-piece from Fat. He's bringing some fat kills to the table here. 2 Angry Titans. HSL, they've got the triple ults online. 1 minute 21. There's a lot less time remaining now.
I don't think Henningsen realized that the Nano Tracer was in play because he felt, obviously, he knows what a Tracer damage feels like. He knows the damage tick rate coming in, but his health got deleted. He had no reaction. I don't think he realized it was Nano, then realized the amplified damage was coming in.
Yeah, I must have thought the Fortify was just adequate.
Yeah.
Now HSL, they're on the quad DPS
On
here.
cooldown! It comes in! Double pulse from Kevster! And again with the third, Henningsen feeling the might of this lad. 50 seconds remaining for HSL. They made the last minute switch to Goats, and they only have Chow's self-destruct to play with.
They must reset now, and they have to do it quickly. It's just Fisher, will go down. Now all you're rocking with is this Diva Bomb from Chow. And there's so many little hidey holes on point A for King's Row for you to hide in. I doubt this Diva Bomb is going to get very much value at all. And if they wish, Angry Titans can just hard engage after the Diva Bomb comes out. Just deny whilst they have that 5 versus 6 man advantage.
As Costman hooked, Protector Barrier goes down early. Now that information has gone to AT, they know no one can put out this resistance. Chow going for clearance, but he doesn't sweep anyone off the high ground. As Erky looking to get this whole hog online. The hook comes into the Lucio, will not find him. A-Fox is down already. Fisher being dropped out. Super Pluke's going to be dropped as well. One tank, one support down, and the DPS. Zapray finding 2 for HSL. That will bring that main tank back into the roster to get some pressure on the point as the Coalescence will start to hose down the rest of AT.
Ascot takes down Bruce, and this fight looks like it is HSL's here, Tridd. And they retain some big ultimates, so they can push forward. But they are in overtime now. A lot of time is just removed completely from the board. 2 minutes 26. Less than what with Angry Titans finished.
Every little helps. Put all those pennies into your bank account, let the interest stock up and start to get that economic advantage over AT, who will start making their own switches over to the Ghost, but they're going to keep Bruce on the Sombra. Very valuable in the composition, plus he's sitting on the EMP for the next engagement.
Next fight is going to be very difficult for HSL Esports. Ding, as he can actually get in there, do a lot of work with the left clicks here, making sure the rest of his team stays alive as the EMP comes out.
There we go, going to find 4, it's enough. Those ultimates aren't for naught.
Huge.
Graviton will get out and it will pull Kevster, who's been nano boosted back in, so that damage being
Massive
denied
denial
from the fight. A-Fox wasting that ultimate, and the EMP was supposed to get AT back in the game and build some form of economy. It's not to be. Ult's still on the board for HSL, and they've got the advantage in this fight.
Shadow available. I don't think they need it.
Doesn't have to use it. That's only a madman would drop the hammer at this point, Blank. The fight's already won. You can take that, save it, put it in your pocket, ready for the next fight on a rainy day.
Like you said, mate, every little helps, and that includes ultimates here. As we push forward onto point B, HSL making a comeback. And surviving that EMP was crucial. Without it, they'd been overtime taking point B here. And Chow, desperately checking for Brucean, knows how much of an issue is now hacked.
Got hacked up. There's nothing really to launch just yet, though. Kevster hasn't got that grab online. That's really what we're looking for him to eat up. Coalescence going to be pushed through the point as Zapray takes that pluck. Hammer was so free, it won't find anyone apart from the point. HSL Esports forcing on to the final section of this map after a very shaky point A take.
The momentum is real from this team. Zapray, so high charge during that fight and doing a lot of work. Actually, it's so close towards the next Graviton, and momentum absolutely has to be the big thing here for HSL Esports, because Angry Titans, now they're all coming on ultimates of their own. But they can survive an EMP again and try and force out some more ultimates from Angry Titans. They can make it a convincing push and not be in overtime. A lot of it comes down to just perfect play from HSL Esports. Thus far, Ascot cannot get hacked.
Erky going to pop that rally as Brewson's getting close to the EMP. He's got it online, but the Graviton Surge is already in there, as well as the Transcendent. Ultra all available here. That will shut down Henningsen. Kevster's already found Zapray. This is big for AT. They didn't even have to use the EMP, and they will have that for what should be a guaranteed fight win on the next attempt.
It is a huge play there from Angry Titans to hold on that EMP, and HSL Esports, they made this play right. They throw in the Graviton, and you saw immediately Ascot goes round the other side, making sure he doesn't get seeded by the EMP. They thought by throwing in those ultimates, they would force the EMP there. Because they don't, and Brucean is patient, this is a free win.
The EMP comes in, Shadow off the back of Super Fluke as well to seal the deal. Everyone's hacked up, everyone's going to the grave. AT though, they did that very quickly, Blank. If they could have staggered out a little bit longer, they could have sealed the deal there, but they will give HSL the opportunity to come back one last time with ults.
They wanted to win slowly, and they didn't. They win fast, and now HSL Esports, now they've got a chance here. 4 ultimates coming online, 5 with that Transcendence as well. Now is the time for HSL Esports. Brewson's so low on charge.
So aggressive! They were looking for the bomb! And Chow, he was the beacon, the distraction, the sleight of hand which laid that shatter down. Henningsen finding it big for Chow to then come back with the kills. HSL on the home stretch, and AT are running out fast.
It's the storm in the sky, but it's the earthquake that takes you down. Chow already taking down A-Fox over here. He's looking to remove him from the fight. But now
that sound barrier means he gets the Transcendence online, so they're able to are not laying the support armors, but Tridd beat him out. Ding will have his to use afterwards, give him the
Shots
overlap.
of ice!
Kevster will drop down the Graviton Surge. Pluke has a hammer to drop. They're sitting in the rally. Pluke drops the hammer. Chow the only one to be found.
Fisher takes down Aafox. That's big. No Discord door, but they need to find the picks and they need to find them now. It's
80.
nothing coming through.
The spawn advantage is too big. They're getting the kills as well. They've done enough to shut it down, and HSL will not complete on King's Row.
Huge plays from Angry Titans. Big plays from HSL too to make it that far on the time bank that they had. But in the end, it's Angry Titans. Just that patience, that monk-like patience there from Brusen, making sure to hold on to that EMP. And he knew that was a force fight from HSL. He was like, you're throwing in the grav here, but I don't see Ascot anywhere.
So really good to set it up, but then we all commented on it. Maybe we wanted the slower fight there to kind of ease the pressure off a little bit, because they did leave it very squeaky bum time down to the last moments as well. So 80, they came out when it mattered though. They walk away with that map win on King's Row, forcing out series point. We got Dorado coming on your screens next, but before we get to that, we have a quick break. One last chance right now for HSL to keep this series alive, and it's going to be on Dorado. Force out that map 5, and then look to bring back the series. Because guess what, AT? They're at series point after a very dominant King's Row.
And that's probably the best way to describe it. It did not look good for HSL. And the only time that we really saw it was when they pulled it out after point A, right?
Yeah.
And they came all the way through just to the end of point C. And I think that's like, it's almost wake-up time for them. And I think that really at the moment they're trying to play around Brusen, and I think they're overthinking it a little bit. We saw that on that grab play towards the end. I think maybe if they committed harder to it, you would have saw Brusen go for the EMP, and you could have potentially then used Sound Barrier as an aggressive tool the next fight, and just been like, gave up and thought, like, we're not going to outsmart this guy.
Yeah.
We'll just brute force it instead. And that's probably the best way to go about it, especially with all these like very high skill players on HSL who were great in a devolved fight just because mechanical skill, very good.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you start stripping away the coordination, start turning into the better chaos, players' individual skill will really carry them through those fights. And that's exactly what HSL was not shy of. We want more from our teams, Blank. We want that coordination because it takes them to the next level.
We do. Now, here we are, Dorado. Point A, HSL, they will be on attack, so because they are the losing teams, they did have choice there. They will go on to attack now. Angry Titans, on the other hand, they are on defense. So it looks like HSL, they want to take precedent here. They want to set the marker for Angry Titans. They have to match them. It's a great widow map, as I was saying before, but HSL, currently Zapre is on the Genji, Ding on the Ana. Don't know if this is going to stick around, but one thing is for sure is Brusen is going to stay on the Sombra. He's been fantastic so far, and you can only imagine that he will continue to be so.
Love me some Sombra right now. Really love how it's playing into a lot of these compositions. And Brusen has done a good job of maintaining the status quo with this hero. HSL now going to move on to the point, and he's going to feed all that juicy intel over to AT about what's about to come at them.
So really here, HSL need to take a massive initiative, because the more time you give to Brusen, right, the more difficult this becomes. Because what we have here is massive shield break advantage, which Angry Titans are making up for by having the Pharah. So Chow needs to find massive picks on the Roadhog, otherwise this is not going to work. This is why you see so quickly Angry Titans backing away.
Paying them a lot of respect, they kind of have to. You don't need the walls, you don't need the Sonic arrow. Brusen's feeding all the information over to Kevster. He knew to take that angle at that time. Fish has now found him though, so he's down. The UAV has been shot out of the sky. He's not going to have it anymore, so he's going to have to do it without the use of technology.
Great pick onto Brusen there. Fisher coming in clutch, takes down Erky, slaps Fat away.
Takes him out of the sky, not one, but two birds for his arrow. Even gets the dink on the plume. He's just flicking at this point. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One thing's consistent, is the kills in his feed.
2 minutes 52 to finish point A. Incredible time here. And Brusen only on 63%. Very, very big. They took him down early, which really clips the ultimate charge of the Sombra. And now Brusen knows he has to switch of the Diva. He has to deny some of this poke, some of this damage, and Erky will get the better of Fisher here. Very unresable situation, but Chow clapping back onto A-Fox.
The exact same thing happening at the exact same time. Love those interactions. Difference being is A-Fox was resable, so Fat will go in and bring him back, giving AT the edge in this next fight.
Kevster currently has the infrasight online. Just went away now.
Oh,
huge
no.
sleep, but he's woken up because of the Venom mine that was on the side. Doesn't matter though, Fisher coming through.
What an interaction there. That could have been so bad for Kevster, but he sneaks out just because of a Venom mine. It's
Actually saved because of the poison. Poison becomes
Fisher!
the antidote.
Oh no! Bruce is eating up his Dragon Strike! He wanted to use that to clear a path, and now AT are just going to be able to sit here a little bit longer. But it's okay.
Very angry with him.
I forgot. Fisher can just do it without the ult anyway.
Oh my god! On the Valking Mercy as well. You are so right. This man can do it without the ult. Does not need the dragons. This man is Dragon Incarnate.
He's now taking off the high ground, aggressive positioning, because they want to walk us into the courtyard. That is until Kevster pays him a visit. Nice drop there from Askoff. He got the res off, but will not escape. Kevster finds him regardless. Like the bit of Mercy tech, but it wasn't to be. A-Fox then finishing what Kevster couldn't, as he picks Fisher on the way out. Supercharger being committed to this next fight. Not sure about this one necessarily, because the fight was already won, but it will guarantee that AT take control of this payload.
I like how Chow went the other side, as you did see Kevster hunting for the Mercy. Chow was like, we'll just swap out. We'll just swap out.
I will go and match him. And if he wants to then flip, we'll flip around again. Now it's time for HSL Supercharger. They've already pulled Erky into the fray, and he's caught in that web of supercharged damage.
A-Fox is consistently doing this, where he takes the high ground approach and he's just peppering them from above. But Chow finding Fat. Now they can move on through, and this is looking like a great time here set by HSL, and it's exactly what they want to do by selecting attack. They can set precedent. 4 ultimates are reigning. Angry Titans consistently throwing ultimates in and not finding any value.
Dragon Strike ready for Fisher. He's well out of the range of the defense matrix this time, and AT, they recognize that this isn't their fight. They will back off. Now we're in that final section of the map. Chow dragged into the fray. Kevster being taken out by Fisher as he looks for the flank angle. Sonic Arrow pumps the damage into AFOX. That's how a DPS plays Hanzo, my friend.
Moving away now. Zander takes down Super Pollitt. They got to back away. 4 minutes 20 as the cart rolled through the doors, and that's absolutely right, because HSL, they are rolling and smoking Angry Titans right now.
They're going to be moving on to that final section, like we said, and sizable time bank at their disposal. Bruceman will be running out with that self-destruct, and you're looking the whole hog from Herky, who's been sound that for quite a while now, because the instance to use it just hasn't appeared.
Fisher doesn't want to get his dragons eaten again, though, preferably.
Well, now's the time to do it. The self-destruct's on the fray. He's not going to have that eaten up, but there's no Diva to play. He'll throw it out shortly afterwards to split the team, but they haven't punished it. They are looking at Bruce off to the side, who's just peppering damage into the backline. But it's Kevster finding 2 from the off angle. Make that free. No one's contesting the man. They're too focused on the size. They need to be looking forward.
Angry Titans beginning to push back now on HSL. Great job from Kevster. This man, like we said at the beginning, excellent Widowmaker coming back, and he has been performing so far. You got to respect this guy for your HSL. Now they have the Nano Boost, and Zander needs to start finding some of these picks. Very difficult, though, here on point C. A lot of the sightlines, they are clipped, and Kevster can move from one flank to the next relatively uncontested.
Taking the sight lines, playing it further back. High ground may have been the option for HSL. Going to play it low. There's the hole. The hook cancelled up on the wall. Now Urky's going to punish. They are opposing Roadhog. What a fantastic sequence of events from AT.
They're playing so perfect right now. Angry Titans, yeah, sure, they had a lot taken away from them here on point A and point B, but point C, they are coming alive. In comes the rares, bring back the absolute cannon of a player that is Kevster.
AT's done fantastic to start burning through this time bank of HSL, who have really forced this payload through into the final section. Then I'm getting those ults online. They tried to boost up Luke to get him in there. The flank coming in from AFOX. He's holding the odd angle. They're going to lift him up to try and expose that sightlines. Sleep Dart comes in. They know where AFOX is, but they won't find him just yet. Supercharger to elevate HSL's damage.
In comes the Dragons. Doesn't find anything back, but AFOX takes down Henningsen. Zander is second. And Chow gets the Nano Boost put onto him. Gets the triple!
He's finding the 3K, and Henningsen's brought back into the fight. AFOX is
massive.
Still up on this high ground, but he can't get a look in. He's just forced out of the fight. He's split away from the team. And the kills keep coming in for HSL.
That was such a last-ditch attempt. The Nano went onto him, and he was convicted in that moment to get through the whole hog.
The pile driver will be enough to find a kill on the Urky. The Dragons did the bulk of the work, though, straight through that spawn entrance, and that was still the deal. HSL Esports going to complete Dorado. They did it in style, Blank, right at the end there. What a fantastic sequence of events for HSL.
Like I said, they seal the deal, and that's exactly how most deal signings happens. There's a little bit of deliberation, a little bit of back and forth, and then suddenly the signature goes through, and it's the end of the point there.
That wasn't a negotiation, Blank. That was a hostile takeover. They just went in there and they took everything they wanted. There's nothing AT could do about it. Now it's time for AT. See if they can claw something back, because they've now got to go on the offense.
What we see in Overwatch League a lot and other Contenders regions is most of the time teams will hold each other just outside of point B after the gates open. We saw that with CV as well in our last matchup versus Morning Stars. So it's interesting that HSL made it as far as they did with time remaining, let alone. So Angry Titans, are we feeling a little bit of the hurt here? They can definitely make a good time here as long as they rotate those EMPs effectively.
It's an option that HSL Esports haven't lent on too much in this series, and whereas AT, they're swearing by Bruce and Sombra. I personally prefer it. I think if it's done right, it has a lot of impact that finds itself very hard to overcome.
The reason we might see Bruce switch off on this Diva is because, although he's getting a lot of value on the Sombra, perhaps what we're not seeing, because Anna is a very, very difficult hero to really analyze in the moment. So maybe what we're not seeing that the players are feeling is the intensity of the sleep darts and the bionades coming through from Ding, which is forcing Brucen to make this switch onto the D.Va very, very early. So if that's so, well played to Ding here on the Anna thus far. Really a very aggressive approach from HSL Esports. They will now drop down, looking for some early picks. Zapre again going for it.
I don't know if Erky wants to play this in. He's already felt Zapre's bite. This time, you don't have to deal with one sniper, though, on the ground. Ding, yes, he can provide some damage, but he's going to be looking to heal up these ground units. Zapre's got his eyes in the sky. His Fisher's up there as well. And Askov probably took a direct there when he was flying around with Fisher as his wingman.
Nice passive, though. Does heal him up. Henningsen currently sleeping in front of the shield. There's no hog, though, so they cannot pull him in and take advantage of that wonderful sleep from AFox.
This is a 2-4 split, and the duos are just fighting each other in the sky. It isn't until Erky tries to break line of sight. Brucen's feeding him the information again on the Sombra as he moves in fast. Beautiful direct on the Zapre. He's not even using his sniper, and he can still hit the shots with accuracy. And now Ding's hacked up. He couldn't heal the team, especially when Henningsen was bionaded as well. This is beautiful from AT. They're just systematically going in with the scalpel and tearing HSL apart.
The rest of the job for HSL there was just die on the car. See if they can try and get a second recontest. But as we know, on point A of Dorado, it's very, very difficult to do that once you lose advantage. Angry Titans will be coming into point B before of ultimates. At their leisure here.
Oh, okay, well, Zapre, all right, Kevster.
All right, mate. Yeah.
That's all I got. Like,
okay.
Maybe not do that next time.
Ooh, the hole almost came through there, just able to break line of sight. Ding, very low, double direct, double down.
Easy pickings for Erky up in the skies. He will now move around. Askov has to go back for the res. Very easy to do because they are safe on that high ground. It was only Erky who could challenge them, but you actually had Fisher come back and protect the corpse to stop them from actually getting a free shot off. Henningsen now needs to worry about his own HP, so he has to cower behind that shield. Zapre goes up, will miss the shot, but Fluke has found Chow. That does mean that AT will keep on trucking. Nano Boost being committed into this fight. They're giving it over to Erky. He wants to go in with the barrage and clear out the high ground. He's only found Askov, and then the sleep comes in to put him to sleep. Henningsen will go down, but AT, they've dominated the kill feed, dominate the payload. They're going to keep it in motion.
Brucen now, as AMP though did. This is going to be big, closing out the point. They weren't forced to use it yet. Instead, they just ground HSL down.
Like beef.
Like beef, dude. And now they're just about coming online with some ultimates, but Angry Titans very ready to clap back here. I think if you want to hold on point C, you've got to create some time, and you've got to create it now.
That EMP is going to break all the clocks, though, Blank, as he moves into the center. Everyone's affected apart from Askov, who will get the Valk. It caused them not to show themselves, and Kevster, as soon as they rear their head, he's taking it clean off. And look at this, Erky's going in behind the front line and challenging the team. Chow, though, he got the nano boost. He's able to pick him off,
dude,
but he comes in. Take a breather. We'll buy enough time for Henningsen to get in with the Wrecking Ball. The turnaround's coming in. There's until Pluke. He has the LMG, puts in a good use. The healing tries to come in for AFox. Time is being bought for HSL to try and contest this one.
Erky, very low currently. Super Fluke did drop down the supercharger using that extreme damage to drop this down, but Henningsen will just run. The bomb goes over, squash them flat.
It's just a ball just dancing around the payload right now, knocking Super Fluke around. He doesn't have to fortify. Now he's just popped it. They're up in the sky. Erky goes back in through the same route he did last time into the room to try and deal the damage. 4 HP. Has to take cover. He's not got his Mercy here to heal him. He's going down low onto Fisher, and we'll get him at point blank range. Point C now available for AT.
4 minutes remaining. Very similar time bank to HSL as they rolled through the doors. Super Fluke finding Ding 2. Chow will make the switch over to the D.Va, knowing that he has to put some pressure on Brucen. Has to make sure he can go over and try and do some damage to this Widowmaker.
Chow's just going to run Erky out of the sky. Not much you can do about that one. Will go down. Barrage will be available for next fight, assuming AT keep control of this payload. Brucen's still working towards that EMP, though. I really think they need to get that combo off, because that could be the deal breaker. and the deal maker that allows HSL to go ahead and get themselves denied this next cap.
Really, there's no consistent way for HSL to battle versus the EMP.
Yeah.
And what I was most suspecting here from HSL's comp is just to play a little bit more split up to make sure you don't all get affected by the EMP at once. But they're playing quite close-knit together, which is really, really bad when the EMP does come through.
Urki again, feeling the pressure.
What a beast.
That brings him back, but AFOX now doesn't have that res for him. He's going to have that nano boost denied. Fisher, point blank range. Woo, dink out Ascot, dink out.
Okay.
Urki's going to commit the barrage very early. If I'm AT right now, these ults not quite syncing up with what the rest of the team's trying to do.
It did feel a little bit throwaway, to be honest with you. HSL didn't use anything. The barrage came through. And
Yeah,
Kevster continues to do consistent work. Zapre finally get his name on the board.
Urki went for the switch, so it was a planned move. Get rid of the barrage, switch over to the Hanzo, try and contest the crossfire coming in from HSL.
That's what you really need to do, because there's so much airspace right now that was just controlled by HSL, because like I was saying, for Angry Titans defense, it's so easy to get the flanks through. Angry Titans, in fact, switching over to the 3-3. Have HSL noticed there, and will they make any switches accordingly? Brewster's waiting with the EMP. This is the great ultimate maker as well as denier for HSL. It will create ultimates on the side of Angry Titans as they mop up the kills. So HSL
Going in!
scared.
EMP! There we
One
go.
person.
Shuts
In
off
fact,
the
three,
lights.
sorry.
3 people being caught off there by Blank. Don't worry, I caught it. We're only trading off 1 kill either way. Henningsen and AFOX both traded out right now. Fisher will still get that Dragon Strike available. Bruceson getting tagged out here with the Storm Arrow will take cover. Fisher again unable to get that kill, and the pressure
That's
came
greedy.
in. Urki from the side will help Bruceson punish him.
Really greedy from Fisher there. Saw the sliver of HP and he went for it. Zapre has made the switch over to the Tourbillon, so classic Clockwork Vendetta composition coming out here, knowing that he does great versus the GOATs.
Fisher taken out as soon as he got rezzed up there by Ascot. He's going down with the Dragon Strike. Swarm's there for him. Ding's taken out. His whole cut short. Super Boost got the nano boost. He runs in and mows down Henningsen with the help of Bruceson. Takes Ascot out the sky as well. Home stretch for AT. But they already got the lesser time bank than HSL.
Fisher knew he had to live in this fight. The Dragon Strike will create a lot of space, but someone has to touch, and they have to touch now. It will be Henningsen.
Zapre running up with the Tourbillon as well. He's nearly got himself that Molten Core online. That could be big if he gets it off. But HSL still struggling to find footing. Zapre will trade out Kevster. And Fisher's going to find that kill onto Fat. Pluke still swinging away. The payload's contested. EMP comes out. No one from HSL was affected by that one, Blank. Not the play you want to see from Bruceson, but they're going to keep on contesting nonetheless. Molten Core on the floor, but it's not on the payload where everyone else is hiding. Everyone's rolling out the spawn room to try and make this work. I don't know if HSL are going to be able to make this work for them, because Ding is now on the Tracer trying to stall it out. Fisher finds 2!
Ding also takes down Bruce, and no more hacks. Shao can freely freeze everyone up. Do HSL stop them here? Super Blue goes down. Ding is still going.
The hammer found no one. Is Ding put it on a masterclass of DPS? The Hanzo, it wasn't enough. The Tracer, it will be. Fisher comes in swinging. He kicked it all off. The overtime stall was big, and HSL are taking us to map number 5.
When you've got an issue, just call Fisher up, because he's on the line pronto, and he's going to sort you out when the fight starts to get rocky.
That double kill on the Doomfist, it made it all possible. The dream was then available for HSL. He was the one who put his foot in the door as it was closing. The rest of the team charged forward and just suddenly burst it open, able to stop AT from getting that cap and ultimately taking us to our second map 5 of the night.
Great play from Zapre as well. He put himself in a really precarious position on that Tourbillon, but he was still able to create a hot mess on the point there. No one could touch for quite a while. And it allowed much more time for the rest of the team just to get on there. And Fisher, just like Rocky Balboa, he is punching, he is letting loose. This guy is one hell of a player.
Walks into the map, screams Adrian, punches a few people.
Gives that inspirational talk, you know how it is.
Then goes back and trains up the next generation for not 1, but 2 sequels. Fantastic play by Rocky Balboa right there. Well, that's all for me and Blank for map number 4, but of course we talked about it already. We got map number 5 coming on your screens right away. You do not want to miss the conclusion of this series, so join us after the break. Welcome back. You are blessed with great Overwatch if you stuck with us, because we're into our second map 5 of the night. HSL Esports versus AT. Valiant hold. Borderline impossible hold coming out there from HSL to
you
force
don't
out
see
this
it
fifth
often,
map.
no. You don't see it often whatsoever. And I think this is the big pop-up potential. I actually mentioned it during the map. During those devolved stages of the fight, when it comes down to mechanical skill, this is when HSL come alive.
Individual mechanical skill in the chaos, able to pull through.
Interestingly, Control was the kind of map that they struggled on in the beginning. And really, Control is the ultimate just mess and chaos of a map type. And
it's just so condensed, so fast, that it's a finite arena to play with that's just, okay, let's roll out a spawn fast as we can and just clash heads until someone gets control.
So it was interesting that HSL weren't able to really come alive during Control. Maybe they needed a bit of warm-up time, but still, it's so close. Really, this series could have ended literally 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, it could have done, but they just pulled it out yet again.
Last moments.
Moving on to Sanctuary, our first round of this final map. It's the beginning of the end blank for this series. Let's see what they roll out with. I'm expecting a little bit of DPS. I'm expecting a little bit of Sombra. Brucin, all series, coming back to this hero time and time again. HSL may send Zapre out on the mirror to try and match and have that EMP pressure.
Yeah, and it looks like Ding's going over to the Moira as well. So they're going to have a bit of pressure in the sky in the form of that coalescence. Chow also on the Diva. He did an amazing job to control Erky when he was on this Pharah. Let's see if Erky stays on this, because actually no, Fat will just speed them out and then switch over to the Lucio. We've seen that time and time and again. HSL on the other hand, looks like they're trying to control space and play this Sombra 3-3 with the monkey involved.
That extra mobility to jump in there. Going to be interesting, because they're going to rely on that armor pack and to try and give him heals, especially when he's mobile away. Like, it's not as if you can have the armor at range, which is what AFOX is going to be doing, obviously sitting at the back. Getting a lot of attention from Kevster right now, who is playing these flanks. He's building up towards that pulse bomb quite quickly, and Brucin's...
Oh my god! He destroyed the translocator and prevented from coming back up, so he just fell.
Yeah, that's... Well, we talked about Sombra pressure. You don't need to have it of your own if you just do moves like that and take Brucin away from the map. HSL sitting on the point right now. The Bionade shuts down the healing, but no one's really following up on it from AT. Pluke's hacked up. That Wrecking Ball is now useless without abilities, and the cap comes in for HSL.
There's a nice hood over the top of this point as well for HSL Esports to stay alive, but now the mech is gone. All that pressure on the bird in the sky is away, but the coalescence is now out. Nano Boost comes through, so much damage.
The pivot comes in last minute to stop the hack coming in from HSL as well. Zapre unable to get it out. Henningson's on the drum, trying to stall out more time, and Ding will have to fade away. But AFOX still finds him. 22% flip coming in for AT.
Let's just discuss the discrepancy between Brucin and Zapre. Zapre's been alive this whole time, 63%. Brucin died very early. How has this man got an EMP over Zapre?
He's just magic. 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 I don't have to explain it. It's magic. Brucin, like I said, now got that EMP to play with. Zapre building up towards it. The hacked up. Remember, it's unable to do anything. Fisher hack into the EMP. He's easy pickings, but surprisingly, he doesn't go down. AT threw everything at them and still couldn't get that kill.
Also, really big to force out the EMP quickly there. It's another thing that Angry Titans, they're not doing it well. They're not winning slowly.
Yes.
They're winning super fast, and it leaves Angry Titans lacking of ultimates, whereas HSL Esports very happy to take those quick engagements and come back in with ultimates of their own, whereas Composition very good at sustaining on the point.
They're going to throw in their own EMP right now. Kevster's looking for that pulse bomb. He's going to whiff that as well. Fisher looking for the stun onto Kevster. Will not find him. Zerky now looking for the barrage as well. Chow drives up to the contest, but it's the primal raise that sends AFOX flying. Maybe needed that EMP in this next fight. Zerky's been stunned out of the sky. Fisher. We talk about Icarus flying too close to the sun. Erky was dipping his toes too close to the ground, and Fisher just snapped it right up.
Yeah, man. I mean, usually it's fish that he goes for, but if a bird too close to the ground, he will fling the rod at you.
That's just competition he doesn't need in the fishing pool, the fishing lake. He doesn't need birds coming in there stealing up all his prized possessions.
He's like, get away. Now Angry Titans, they make the big switch, and Henningsen knows he has to go for this Reinhardt, he struggled before when he stayed on the Winston.
That self-struggle won't find anyone. Nice barriers coming in time, but Henningson's hacked up, so he has no shield. Fat's there to reinforce him, and the rest of the team will give him the healing to make sure that Henningson will go and die. Chao's got no mech. That's unfortunate. Kevster then picking up the kill off the back end of that. Bruceson, he's trying to hack targets, but they're killing him faster. But he will deny the translocate from Zapre, which makes it all the more important and all the easier for AT to walk away with the kill. They get the flip at a mirrored 65%.
Yeah, very, very interesting indeed. Now, Angry Titans, they've got a lot online. Bruceson most specifically with the EMP. Zapre took him twice as long to get the EMP on. He only hit one person with it. Hopefully this EMP can be a little bit better this time because time is of the essence, Tridd.
Speaking of time, will we see the slow fight? Because they don't need it this time. They need to do it fast. So this is the one time it might play into the hands of Bruceson to get this EMP. Zapre goes in early. Here comes the counter EMP on top. But it finds the same amount of people, except it finds a crucial target. Ding doesn't have
They can't touch.
Nano
They
boost,
can't touch.
and they've been shouted off the point. They will get that touch in place because Zapre was available outside of all of that CC. The advantage is in favor of AT right now. They just need to press the issue and walk away with the win.
Oh, HSL, they're in a rough spot right now. Henningson's coming back with the shatter. You see him just in the wings over there. Consistently, HSL are keeping in the overtime.
The shatter, it was big coming in, but they haven't done enough. They're only still trading kills back and forth. Ding comes in actually with the melee kill onto Urki. That might tip the balance. Here's Zapre's Doomfist again. We know what this man can do if he's left to his own devices. But the Bionade's going to shut down HSL.
So low.
Zapre will finally be taken out by Bruceson. The point's being contested. HSL have got the bodies on the point to take this away, and they have got the beefier members.
They just cannot remove Fat from the high ground. The Frog is just staying online. Superuk so close towards his shatter.
He gets that nano boost. He's walking up towards the 100. He's not finding anything. A bit of a yeet coming out from Chow. Pulls them together. The counter grab comes out from Kevster. There's that shatter. It finds everyone. Knocks them on their back. But HSL are still fighting.
Really, really good EMP coming in here, but Chow will take down Urki and Zapre on the Reaper. He just cannot die. Overtime has been in session for a very, very long time.
He might die. The hack came in after the EMP. Shut him down for a little bit, but not all the way. Heading to phase 2 with the same flame strike as Kevster and Superloop will be taken out. HSL get the flip again in these overtime moments, just coming in clutch and getting the flip when it matters. They now have to retain control because there's one, maybe two fights in this for HSL, depending on how fast they get back to the point.
Like an animal backed into a corner. You do not want to be in that corner with them. Zapre coming up on the Death Blossom. How effective will it be here when Brewster makes the switch over the Diva? He's going to get a lot of value up here. Onto that Death Blossom, make sure it doesn't go through. Henningson, though, a lot of HSL, all with these ultimates online to finish out this last fight.
We could get a blast from the past here. Ding gets that ultimate online. He might go for the Beyblade instead. Sound Barrier comes in. Zapre will be saved by that. The barrier is there. They're shattered. And the Beyblade comes in. It only gets one kill, but it's dealt so much damage to AT. They had to walk through an onslaught, a barrage of shotgun shells for HSL to then walk away with this point. They've just got one lingering pain in the buttocks, and it's Fat. They've cleared him out. They will take away Sanctuary.
It is a heavy, crushing blow delivered to Angry Titans just off the back of Dorado, where a similar thing just transpired. AT, they have to be feeling the heat now, Tridd.
We talked about the mental game of HSL, how they may be under the cosh a little bit, and we've then batted those concerns away and said that veterancy enables them to come into this one and still keep strong mental. But if you think about what AT have just had to endure, the Dorado, last minute stall, they come out of nowhere, get that flip again, take control and deny them the completion, and then we move over to Sanctuary. That was theirs, dead to rights, 99%, and the overtime clutch comes in again. This is really going to affect them. If they allow this to get to them, Blank, they may as well write off the series now. I'm hoping that they can come back and put up a fight in this final round.
AT were ready to bury HSL, and then a hand just plunges through the earth once again, and HSL, they come back from the dead. Quick switches coming through here. Angry Titans, they do have the quad tank coming out.
They're going to go change as well. They know HSL are going to go and change themselves,
so now they're going to change. Forcing that 3-3. Let's go.
I said, with recent announcement today, Blank, that could well be some of the last bits of GOATS play we see, especially in Europe. But here's HSL coming in. They're going to be getting that positional control. They're waiting for AT to aggress onto them. This is vanilla goats. This is an odd sight to see on Mecha Base.
It really is an odd sight to see. No Mei in sight. HSL do take the first cap. Fight is currently raging on.
And they're going to be pushing them to the sides right now as AT is still trying to wrestle away control, but no one's getting a definitive advantage of yet. They're just burning each other's resources, looking to find that fatal blow and kick off the cascade of kills that comes in afterwards. But it's Kessler and Zapray off to the side, sitting on high energy, dealing it up. Fisher, he's looking awfully low. So's Henningsen right now. Someone needs to get in with the kill. The rally's been popped. Diggs got no shelter, and Kevster will punish him for it. The trade comes back though. Superblue will find Henningsen. Kevster's been removed, so that damage is missing. Transcendence comes out. Self-destruct as well. Who's getting the edge in this fight? I can't tell.
Massive bash onto Chow, denies the remake there. And they invest the grab too. HSL could have won that fight, but Chow is removed.
We talk about who's getting the advantage, actually. The fight may be back and forth, but HSL have control. This is a big win for them. The longer this goes on, they're able to keep control and build up the progress, but finally, AT, they get 4 ults under their belt, and they will now have to defend the attack of HSL.
You might think it's bad news bears for HSL because they used the D.Va self-destruct, they used the Graviton, and now Angry Titans, they look in a position of power. But look at the support ultimates. HSL can weather this fight, get some ultimates online, but AFox is still 40% away from his Transcendence.
Grab, Transcendence, Shatter. You know how this goes already. The charge comes in and pushes them to the side. The sound barrier will reinvigorate, but he's taking it away. The Shatter came in and found 3 on the back line of HSL, and the bomb sat in the middle of them. But a fire strike from Henningsen will be the one to find Bruceson after he demeched himself, opted into it. Now HSL have the high ground. They can take the fight at their own tempo. They're going to have to fight against the Transcendence of AFox.
But there's a rally coming through right now. Urki does not have one to respond. The aggression will be coming in thick and fast already. The point is almost already flipped, Tridd.
They're just going to keep him off the point for a little bit longer. They're pressing forward. Henningsen's already found Urki. There they go, trying to send Superblue off the side, but he will charge himself back onto stable ground. But hey, Angry Titans are getting the kills. They're forcing HSL back. Zapray will get himself a Graviton Surge, but his team is not in a position for that to be used. They're going to match the progress, come back swinging with an ult bank in their favor.
Angry Titans go to hold close, but this plays into the hand of HSL. They have the Graviton. If they use this quickly here, they know that there's no supportive ultimates online. HSL Esports, they can quickly swing in without worrying of a counter grab, which is why you're now seeing Angry Titans backing it up.
Paying it respect. Kevster, he's had a few good mortars, and he's going to get his own Graviton Surge online right now. Potentially the follow-up with Pluke. But you're right, Blank. It is the support ultimates that they're just lacking from both of these teams right now. It might just take the grab to actually seal the deal, because they're not going to have that extra healing to go in. There's the first grab, pull the trigger. Henningsen swings forward with the protective barriers, deals a lot of cleave damage. Shadow comes down to fight Fisher. He stepped too far forward, but Henningsen returns it again, finding 4. He's stunned up afterwards, and AT retain control. The self-destruct is not enough. They will force out downtown.
Absolutely monster of a series we have on our hands here, Tridd. 1-1, down to the wire. Angry Titans or HSL, red or blue? Which one do we cut here from this series?
I don't really know, Blank. I don't know which cut of the cloth we're going to have to go for, because these two teams, they're cut from the same right now, in terms of how they're playing. They're able to go back and forth constantly throughout this series. Downtown will be the decider, and I think this is the play for AT. Go onto this damage, try your luck with it. Go up against the Sombra Goats of HSL, because, you know, when it comes to Sombra play, yes, we've questioned the tempo of your fights off the back of EMPs, but consistently, you're getting more value out of it. I'd like to see you fall back to this more and really utilize Bruceson here.
Yeah, Zapray has to step up here, because like you said, Bruceson is absolute fiend on this Sombra so far. He's putting in the work. Superblue currently on the Hammond, Kevster on the Tracer, able to do a lot of work in the backline, but you're most likely going to expect Angry Titans to switch off here.
Hacked up Henningsen, it's fine, he's in the safety of his team, he's not leapt in yet, so they're going to be able to protect him, stop him from going down. They are paying attention to Bruceson, he's building up towards that percentage, he's trying to get the EMP online fast, he's still doing it faster than Zapray, who's struggling to keep up. They have to move on to the point to contest AT.
Absolutely do. Forced to use the leap there as well, because what this composition of HSL does well is take control of the point. And if they can find some early picks, it'll be absolutely huge, especially that mech there, but they're keeping the Hammond alive.
Don't know how they managed that one, but they're going to keep him up. Probably the pocket from Fat coming in as Erky will now get that attention. Brewston goes down for the Orb of Destruction. That's not what it's called, but it's going to be the damage orb from Ding that will find him out. Goes down 77%. It buys Zapray some time to get back into the Sombra EMP race. There's a barrage coming down onto Fisher. Finding just the one. Chow coming in too late with the Minesweeper. And will lose his comrade, but it will stop the ult from getting any more value. There's the Coalescence, and now Erky has to play around terrain, because as soon as HSL are healed up, he can look to the skies to try and deal damage and take the fire out.
Super removed. Zapray ever so low here, but he has the EMP online. Kevs are doing work. Zapray clamps back onto the enemy Sombra. And
there's going to be the self-yeet from Henningsen to get him back into the team. Healing denied onto Zapray. He has the EMP. HSL, they're taking these long fights while they have control of the capture point. It just plays into their hands all the time. And they've got Zapray's EMP to use when AT tries to regress. The same can be said about AT because Brewston has also got his online.
Super stressful fights coming up recently now. Zapray with the EMP, Brewston with one of his own. Aafox can immediately follow up on that with a Bionade, but HSL Esports, they have a team comp that plays quite split, and Askov can bring in the overshield almost immediately.
Nanoboost comes in straight away. There's the EMP as well. It finds 5, but it didn't find Brewston, who only finds 2. That's the exact opposite of what we expect when both of these EMPs are used. Henningsen slept into the shatter. The Primal Rage will keep him alive, but that can't be said about his team. They've lost Chow and Ding, their main source of healing. But they're going to keep on fighting anyway. They have to right now because they're so close to securing victory.
This is a disgustingly huge fight for HSL to win there. Angry Titans basically burn everything, making sure that they stay in that fight, hoping to win it. Last fight now. And Ding very close to that Coalescence, stopping a lot of the pressure from Angry Titans coming in. Might buy enough time for Zapray to hit the EMP, which was so crucial to winning that last fight.
Brewston's gone back over to the Diva. Kev's is hacked up, so he's not going to have a chance to get that out online. They're going straight into the back line. The Orb's in there, dealing so much damage. And they're taking out the Aafox. The Transcendence is not available. Askov finds Erky as well. 2-for-1 trade. And the EMP layered on top of the Transcendence. AT have been pushed aside. They're still fighting though, Blank. They still think there's a chance. That will be taken out. Brewston's got no mech, no tank form to use. Self-destruct on the point. We'll clear them off. Overtime will tick down, but they will still keep on contesting as Aafox comes in.
Ding will fall here. Aafox coming down. Chow takes down Kepta, so a huge amount of DPS is lost. But look, Angry Titans, they continue to find the point. They have to take down Erky right now.
Are they going to out HSL here as they're committing Erky on the Doomfist? Zapray still got control. The rally should win it out for HSL as they start to burn through AT. And when it comes down to the wire, HSL Esports will stay in the top half of our standings. They will beat out AT in a 5-match slobber knocker.
Ding, Biotic Grasp closing in around Angry Titans. That's exactly what happened because they had full control over downtown. And we talked about mental. HSL, they've been from some rough